Welcome to Trustee Talk. I'm Dick Murgatroyd, and we thank you for joining us at this edition of Trustee Talk. Our guest today is Anderson Township Trustee and Second Vice President of the Board of Trustees, the one and only Andrew Pappas.
Hello.
It's always a joy.
Could you make that title a little longer, if possible?
It's always good to see you. You always kind of brighten our day.
I try.
I know you try.
I try.
I know you try.
Life
So
is-
what kind of exciting stuff is going on here in the town? That's a lot of stuff going on. If you drive down Beachmont.
Drive down Beachmont Avenue. A lot of really neat stuff is going on in the township. It's an exciting time. I've been in Anderson for 20 years. We're running my business, and it's a very exciting time for Anderson Township in general because there's a lot going on.
So is there new stuff coming in, or this is just a culmination of things that you've been working on?
It's a little bit of both.
Is it?
It's a little bit of both. We have obviously, you're starting to see movement at the Kroger site. They're tearing down the old Chevrolet dealership that was there for years. That is coming down today. They're still proceeding on it. It should be down probably by the end of the week. It'll be totally down. Then some cleanup. Kroger is enlarging by a half.
Wow.
It will be visible from space. It's going to be a big Kroger. And Kroger has been a great neighbor to the township, a good steward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're excited for the development that's happening.
How far is that going to go? Are they just going to take that one, the old Chevy dealership, or are they going to go beyond it to the corner?
No, they're not going to go all the way out to the corner, but they're going to stick with there's portions of our we have a development plan that's available to see online at our website, and we'll talk about that later in the show. They're going to be taking up a majority of it on the back side. The front side, where they're going to have some out parcels that'll be available for lease to restaurants, and
okay.
we have some nice plans. Hopefully that'll come to fruition there at that corner. There are also discussions putting a right turn lane in there at Wolf Angle so that it'll facilitate traffic flow. So that intersection will be improved a little bit through that redevelopment, and that's going to help. And it's just, we're a township of 45,000 people, and we will have one of the largest Krogers in the United States. That means that Kroger sees something here in Anderson, and they're investing in Anderson, and it's just an exciting time, as well as up and down Beachmont Avenue. We have, if you go west on Beachmont, there's some redevelopment going on down by Johnny's Car Wash. That site's been scraped. That's where some redevelopment's coming in. Dewey's Pizza will be located there, we're told.
Oh, really?
Johnny's Car Wash is doing some redevelopment, adding a Creamy Whip to its car wash, so you get your car wash and get some ice cream.
You get a Creamy Whip while you're waiting for your...
I think actually it's not a bad idea, because if you drop the Creamy Whip in your car,
then they can clean it up. That's right. Not a bad gig at all.
Not a bad gig.
No.
If you can get it.
Yeah.
It's just exciting because there was now we are finishing up. Literally, I've been in office for 9 months, and it seems like just yesterday that we were running for election. It really does. This time has
it goes fast.
I'm constantly amazed as I get older how
fast time goes.
And it's sad because you really don't slow down and appreciate it at times.
No, you don't. And it goes faster the older you get.
So I was going to ask, because you've had a couple of laps around the track more than I have.
I have a few more laps than you. You think it's going fast now?
You just wait.
You just wait.
Just wait, kid, because you ain't seen nothing yet.
Seen nothing yet. Let me tell you.
It's funny because a short time ago, someone said to a developer here in Anderson, they said, I drive down Beachmont Avenue and I can't tell if the township is coming or going. And what they meant by that, they couldn't tell if we were on the ascension or the decline. Yeah. He didn't know if he wanted to invest in this area because he just couldn't tell. He couldn't get a feel. Well, you are now going to be able to get a feel.
Absolutely.
You see some properties that were vacant or purchased and just not being developed yet, being redeveloped and knocked down with new construction. That's great.
Well, it is. I mean, and I think that's a great thing because you're replacing a property. I mean, you're filling up holes in it that were left by someone else. But there's a lot of those have filled up in the last year or so.
There is. There's always work to be done. I don't think you're ever going to get to the point where you're completely, I mean, are we ever satisfied? I think there's always an opportunity for filling holes. But what you're going to see is you're going to see the vacant land, the vacant spaces, the underutilized spaces start to fill up. I'm just really energized. There's some new housing plans for Anderson that are in the works. I've heard rumors of some other things. You know, I don't hear anything until it's officially submitted, but we all hear rumors and innuendo. It's just all the years that I've been living here in Cincinnati, this is really an exciting time. The money that was sitting on the sidelines, not earning anything in a bank, is now back in play because they think that we are really in a position to make a strong rebound here in Anderson Township. And it's exciting.
I think you are. I mean, I saw Arthur's is
open. Anderson Pub and Grill.
Yeah, the Pub and Grill, which really, those guys did a terrific job of rehabbing that place.
They took a partial, took it down to the studs on the inside,
really
totally
did, yeah.
rebuilt it.
Yeah.
Arthur's as well, took a vacant old Perkins location, totally revamped it. It's a wonderful location inside. Both are wonderful locations, great additions to the township, great dining, a nice pub atmosphere in both. So it's really an exciting time from not only a civic leader, an elected official, but just as an Anderson resident to say, you know what, things are really starting to pop. I can't tell you all the people that find out that we're getting our own Dewey's Pizza, which has a very loyal and following here.
Yes.
Next to my location, there is a Krispy Kreme donut coming in.
Oh, really?
So by this time next year, I will be diabetic and about I'll be diabetic and about 150 pounds heavier than I am now.
You'll be one of the larger.
I'll be one of the larger trustees. If I'm not the largest trustee now, we might have to change it to 4 trustees because I might be 2 trustees. But because Duncan does a huge business on the other side of the street there. Duncan does a big business, and I think there's room for both. Beachmont is the first or second busiest street in Cincinnati traffic count-wise.
It's got to be the busiest.
Coleraine gives it depending. I'll tell you, we had some issues with traffic flow, especially headed west.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, east on Beachmont, going home at night. Between 5 Mile and 275, and that was caused by some lights that weren't timed correctly. The sensors were damaged in the street that pick up on your car, and it took a couple of phone calls to ODOT to get that situation rectified. You're having your major construction projects finishing up on Clough, which people were avoiding and jumping down on Beachmont, which was adding to the congestion. Right. That is finishing up as well. So I've noticed a vast improvement in traffic flow on Beachmont.
It is better, and I think I'm excited just because of the plans for the 5 Mile Beachmont intersection.
That's going to be which
will be interesting.
It's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yes, it will be. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it looks.
If you figure it out,
I'll let you know.
Would you let me know?
Because it looks like it could work. I mean, I think it can work, but that definitely needs some.
If it improves the flow of traffic, I'll be the world's biggest fan. And I'm not saying I'm not the biggest fan now, but that was something, as I've talked about before, that was before my time in office. And once some of these projects get funded, get designed, get a number associated with them, that they're on the books, they're going to be done. I'm hopeful. This morning, for example, I witnessed an accident at that interchange. It wasn't by bad design, it was an accident, but what struck me is for the short period of time that interchange was closed, that intersection was closed, monumental disruption to traffic flow here in the east side of town.
Yes.
Beachmont is our corridor. Beachmont is a main artery to Cincinnati, and anything we can do to improve that flow is not only good for the township, it's good for Cincinnati.
Good for Cincinnati. Oh yeah, no question about it. Well, it always has. It's always been busy, but I think it's just because you got more traffic and you got more. It wasn't built for the kind of traffic it's carrying now.
No, and how can you ever foresee future? It was Now, back in the day, I heard at one point, it was, I think when Russ got elected, it was a horse path. I'm not sure. Pretty sure, I think it was. But he's going to love that.
He'll love you for that.
He loves me anyway. The fact of the matter is, how can you ever plan
You can't.
fully far enough in advance? You know, would you want a Beachmont that was 4 lanes each way? That would be a highway. I don't think anyone wants to be on a highway per se. It is a major intersection, a major traffic flow. If some projects that are on the books being discussed are developed, Eastern Corridor perhaps, could alleviate some of the traffic flow of people coming out Beachmont. That the Eastgate interchange is now being finished. People will then, that are using Beachmont now, that have been avoiding that area, will jump over to 32. So there's a lot of things that will help. I would like to beautify it more. The biggest complaint that we hear through social media, and we'll discuss that shortly, Beachmont is too industrial. You know, I've heard the term ugly. I use the term commercial. They might be interchangeable. I'd like to soften Beachmont with landscaping and trees along the edges, not necessarily interrupting traffic flow in the middle. But if we can do some program to help coordinate private landowners to plant trees or do some landscaping on Beachmont to soften the effects of the power lines.
Well, I think some of the newer venues that have come into being have done a nice job.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Doing some landscaping because
that's in our plan.
It is, well,
so when they come
but that's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
When they come for reusing a parcel or redeveloping a parcel, part of the thing is it has to fit to our plan, and that's a long-term goal, and it will be done incrementally. But you're seeing it, and since I've been here, it's much nicer than the first day I moved here.
Well, yeah, and I think that's I think that helps to, as you say, soften the landscape.
Yeah, just a little green.
A little green here and there.
A little green here and there.
If they take care of it.
Oh,
yeah.
If they take care of it. Just a little green will soften the harshness of all the concrete. And that's fine. And you know what? It's shade in the summertime. It's a windbreak. It's a win-win for everything. I don't want to have a situation where we impede visibility and create a dangerous situation for anyone. It is still a busy street, and anytime you're taking a left going across traffic of an interchange like Beachmont, it's dangerous. You should anything I can do to make that safer, we will do. But I don't want to create a situation where we provide or create some sort of blind spot for somebody.
Yeah, well, and part of the problem too, because you only have the one turn lane for both ways, and that's where you get into problems.
Oh, it's
because you get a couple of head-ons once in a while.
My business is on Beachmont.
Yeah.
So there are hours a day that I'm observing the traffic flows, and I have had instances where I'm talking to the wall. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Well, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, well, only because a lot of people don't pay attention.
Don't be on the phone.
No.
or don't be texting.
But you can't. I mean, you just can't. Because that is an issue. I don't know how you solve that. Like you said, you can't. You can't add.
You can't be everywhere.
No, you can't.
But that's one of the exciting things happening here in the township. We have a lot of things going on. As I said, a redevelopment. We're getting involved in social media, which is long overdue.
Tell me how is that impacting what's happening?
Well,
because I know social media is huge. I mean, it keeps growing because they keep adding more and more ways in which you can communicate.
Your phone,
to the point where I mean, it's overwhelming at times.
It can be, and it can overtake your life if you let it.
Yes.
What it provides us as a township is more effective ways to communicate with our residents. That's the main tool social media does.
Which is good.
If you want to do something or you want to get information out to the general public right now, the best way, now if you go on television, people have to be watching TV. But because of the way society is today and the way demographics have changed, everyone has their phone, and on most of the phones, other than my in-laws who still have the flip phone that doesn't get on the internet, most of the phones have internet access, and they have an application for Facebook. Now that we have a Facebook page, if we need to get information to the residents, the quickest way, I can't think of any way faster than social media.
Well, no, because it's instant, and that's where everybody goes now. I mean,
It is.
people like immediate, immediate.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, they do.
And the thing is we don't have every resident's email address, nor do I particularly want to have every resident's email address because they change. That's dated information.
Yeah, it's like a phone.
If I want to get information to the residents that this intersection, for example, this morning as I was going from here to Hyde Park, there was a bad accident on Beachmont. Now I saw it, I took some photographs, I posted on Facebook. Within minutes, that was, or not my post particularly, but the three news were there, 4 news were there. And they were all posting it immediately to Facebook.
Yeah.
And then people were reposting or spreading that information. Everyone knew immediately, if you were at home or even if you were in your car and you just checked if something popped up on your cell phone, that, avoid 5 Mile and Beachmont for the next 10, 15 minutes, there's a major accident. That helps.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you have to get somewhere,
No question.
you're not stuck in traffic, you're not late for a meeting, you're not late getting your son or daughter to school or to a doctor's appointment or anything. It's just we have been slow and diligent because we didn't want to be, sometimes you can do things too fast and not think of all the ramifications. And that's one thing I found about government is much like an oven compared to a microwave.
Yes,
Government does things slow and steady.
it does. But that's a blessing.
It is. It's good
mean,
because food tastes better in an oven than
yeah.
it does in a microwave.
Yeah, let me tell you, if government operated,
We can't be
no,
everywhere.
You can't. Plus, it would be disaster.
It would be because
Believe
you
me.
would make mistakes.
Well, many. They do a lot.
Not that we don't make mistakes anyway.
Just because they do a good job of it as it is.
Yes.
Having been there, but I always tell people, because people say you need to run it more like a business. I said no. If you did that, it would be a disaster.
To a limited extent, they're correct, but you're right.
But,
You can't. It's not a business.
No, it's not a business, and that's the key. It is not a business. Not meant to be a business.
You need to be responsive.
Fiscally responsible. That
And
part.
it's
But it really is good that it does take time for things to happen and for and planning and
slow and
you know,
steady wins the race.
well, it does, and you have a lot more people who are entering into the decision process,
Sure.
which you don't in a business. In your business, you're the guy who says, "I think we're going to do this today,"
Yeah.
and guess what?
We do it.
We do it. But
Not the way. That's not the way government works.
no, but that's good.
We also are delving into, now we have a Facebook page, Anderson Township, and maybe we can flash that on the screen when we,
So how do you get to the Facebook for Anderson Township?
you just like us on Facebook.
Oh, you like you on Facebook?
Yeah.
What if I go on?
Do you want me to give you
If I go on Facebook,
I have a feeling.
will your picture be?
Time out.
Your picture be?
Yeah,
Will we see your picture?
Not my picture.
Not your picture.
Not picture because
That's
it's not
kind
my
of a
Facebook.
blessing.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. We get out a lot of really good information. We're also we're revamping our webpage, andersontownship.org. That's a nice plug. That we are going to have a series of informational videos posted to YouTube with the links on
This is great.
andersontownship.org. Why? Here's the reason why. Right now, if you want to do something that you don't know or you can't find the information out for, and we're talking about probably, not everything because no one can foresee everything, but we're talking about when you want to find out about adding an addition to your house or what things need to be permitted, where's that done, informational type videos, rather than call the township or get in your car and drive here and ask, which is fine, you can still do that and please feel free to, or call the township and get routed to the right person who may or may not be there at that time. You can get on your computer, go to our website, click on how do I do a garage addition, for example, I'm just using an example, but how do I do a garage, what are the steps I need to do to get a garage addition permitted in Anderson Township, things like that, of that nature. What's allowed in Anderson Township, what's not allowed, things of that nature. We're going to start in the Public Works Department. Richard Shelley's going to make some informational videos about a variety of topics, and we're going to start getting that information out there. Obviously, we want to be very careful we get the correct information
Right.
in a timely fashion, post it online, not have to issue redactions or corrections. We want it right before it's out there. But these are all things that probably are long overdue.
Well, I think it goes back to convenience too. I think it makes it much more convenient for people to be able to sit down at their computer and get answers to things rather than, like you said, waiting on the phone or hoping somebody's going to be there when they call.
Or not on the phone talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm more interested not only making this convenient for our residents to find out either the correct procedure or what they need to do in Anderson Township, but also for that developer that might be in a different part of the country to say, what's going on here? What do I need to do to get a zoning approval for a house development or a new home? And we'll have things like that on the website so that somebody that's not in Anderson that is on the internet can just type it in and see the steps involved and not waste time, make it that much easier, because we live in an era of convenience, and the easier I make it, or we as a township make it for people to find, the better off we all win.
Yeah, and then too, I think, are you going to be keeping people abreast as things are coming on board and as things are happening? And
oh yeah.
Which I think, again, I think, the beauty of that is you can be much more immediate than you can if you were printing a newspaper. By the time you print the newspaper,
does anyone read it? No, that's not good.
But it is, and you can change it faster. So I think it is great. I think more people now are getting more comfortable with getting information that way.
Oh yeah.
A few of us older folks, it takes us a little longer.
I'm biting.
Yeah, I know.
Look, it's just the simple natural evolution of information. There was a time when newspapers might have been perceived as being new to the scene. And then television came along. They had to adapt. They had to change. Newspapers are now going to electronic format that you get on your tablets or your PC or your telephone. I think that what this does...
Even television is...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Television is changing as well.
Oh, yeah.
Most people now find their content online for watching TV.
Yeah.
We just are trying to get to the point where we get the right information to our residents in a timely fashion. The school district has also done that to a certain extent with school closings. Used to be, back in the day, you didn't know. You had to call the district to see if the school was open or closed that day. Now, that's so far. I don't know how many years ago it was. It probably wasn't very many, but now it wasn't too many.
No.
But now you just either pop online or you go to their Facebook page. It tells you all the alerts, what schools are closed, much in the same fashion. This is free services, Facebook, YouTube. These are free services that we as a township should take advantage to spread that information out there.
I think it's a great thing. I really do. And
it's overdue.
I know you got one other thing you want to talk about, and we are down to just a few minutes left in
wanted to address one
program,
thing.
And I know you want to address one particular issue.
Well, we have had an increase in, we've had some, as the economy nationally has stagnated over the past several years, we've noticed an increase in crimes of convenience. And what do I mean by crimes of convenience? We've had a street recently, just the most recent example, where some of the cars are getting broken into because the cars are being left unlocked. I consider that a crime of convenience. Windows weren't being smashed, nothing of that nature, but the door was being left unlocked and valuables left in there, so people would hope that's convenient, crime of convenience. So what we have done is not only let people know, obviously times have changed, things are different. We have some vagrants in the area that you might have noticed around Cincinnati, an increase in vagrants, beggars. I would urge our residents to use caution at home. Lock your doors. If you lock the doors to your house, you should lock the doors to your car.
Right.
Don't leave valuables visible in your car. Don't leave valuables even in your car. I wouldn't, I was guilty at one point of leaving my wallet in my car. I don't do that anymore, and I lock my car every night. And especially in today's world with remotes.
Yep.
You can very easily not have to leave your house to lock your car. We have programs. We have currently in Anderson, we have 97 community watch programs. That is a very effective way for you to keep your neighborhood safe. And if you are interested in forming a community watch program in your neighborhood, contact Corporal Dave Boyman at Anderson Township, here 688-8400. His email is on our website, and let him know that you want to form a neighborhood watch program. I mean, our residents need to understand, as citizens in general, our police, our sheriff, are not there to prevent crime.
Right.
They are there to enforce the law.
Right. Breaking
the law is what they enforce, the law breakers. So if we have eyes and ears, it would be helpful. We also have a sheriff citizens patrol that Dave can hook you up with or get you involved in. We need as many eyes and ears out there, because not that we have a crime problem. I don't want to give that impression, but I've been approached by people, hey, listen, what can I do? I'm retired, I want to help. What can I do? We formed a community watch program in my neighborhood about a year ago, and we just, all it is being neighborly, being good neighbors.
Well, and I think that, I mean, neighbors know more about their neighborhood than anybody does.
Correct.
They always know if somebody's there that maybe doesn't look like they belong there or shouldn't be there or whatever.
Strange van.
Yeah, and so they're much more alert to those kind of things than somebody that's not from that neighborhood.
One final thing I'd like to mention is with the intersections where you might see someone holding up a sign saying, you know, lost my job or whatever, I would strongly urge you to either print some cards or give them some information to, you know, the local church pantry or the local churches here to go for help. I would urge you not to simply give them money,
right,
because although you might be feeling good about yourself in that particular instance, some of these people that habitually camp out, yes, I know you mentioned your area, you have some,
yes,
the same areas, you're simply exacerbating a problem when we do have social safety nets set up for these people that we pay our taxes to support. It'd be a much better use of those resources to send them
absolutely,
there.
Absolutely, yeah, and you know, and some of those people that do that don't take advantage of those opportunities that there are out there that they can get help. They just tend to do their thing. But I agree with you. I think that all you do is just encourage them.
Well, what happens also is on a personal level, if I give money to somebody and I see them habitually there week after week or day after day, and then I realize, you know what, they're just begging from me and they're not actually trying to help themselves. They didn't just lose their job. It tends to make me a jaded person, and then I may not be as apt to help the person that is truly in need.
Right.
So it's a lose-lose situation.
It is, and you're right. That's a good idea. If they make a little card and...
I know that's a lot.
It is, but you know what? And they may take advantage of it, but they may not. But at least you're making an effort. But it's a big problem, and I don't know that we ever.
It's not just here.
No, it's everywhere.
It's across the nation.
Everywhere.
Wherever you go, there's a certain segment of society that is just basically given up.
Always going to be there. Yeah.
And they're going to be there.
They are, and the economy is more and more to the point where it drives people to do that. I wish we had more time.
It's okay. We'll continue again.
We will continue again. I always look forward. Thank you. It is always a pleasure for you to have you here.
Thank you.
And I mean that. And thanks for your service, your great service you do to the township. We thank you for sharing your day with us. We hope that you will have the rest of your day will be enjoyable. And on behalf of all of us here at ACTV, the staff, crew, we hope that you have a very happy and very blessed Thanksgiving. And until we see you again on the next Trustees Talk, take care. Thank you.